Alright, good morning YouTube. In today's video we are going to be talking about the recent passing of John Meadows. So John Meadows, like the best description that I've ever seen said about him is that he's the Mr. Rogers of the YouTube fitness community. He is highly professional, highly knowledgeable. He is a IFBB pro and an uncrowned king in that sport. He had a great physique and he has coached many others to win many accolades over his own career as a coach and has accomplished a lot in his own bodybuilding endeavors. So we are at a great loss in our community to not have not only one of the most knowledgeable, but also one of the most kind, professional, just a pure role model for many lifters, coaches. Just so many people were positively impacted by himself, his character, and my deepest condolences go out to the family and friends. And I know for a fact that he will have a long-lasting impact on anyone who has ever come in contact with him and anyone who has ever learned something from his content, because his content is going to be going to stand the test of time. He's not very dogmatic. He is very nuanced. He is very intelligent and always is trying to find ways to enable you to find what works for yourself. And when you are, bodybuilding, when you are trying to build muscle, become your best self, it is a long process of self-experimentation more than anything else. And he really advocated for the continued learning of that enables your best self. So we are at a great loss, and I truly mourn his death. One thing I also want to touch on is I know that he had health issues and with his heart attack, and that's why he kind of turned his training around into an extent, and like maybe the direction of his like actions and focuses to be a bit more healthy. And this really was a surprise, because like I would never have expected that this to have happened, and I feel many of us are feeling that. So it is just a very deep amount of shock that we're dealing with at the moment. I do want to make a comment about how there are some who will say things like, this is why you don't do steroids, or this is why bodybuilding is not a healthy sport. And I think that those conversations have their place, but they shouldn't be spoken at the time at which someone who has had such a positive impact with in and outside the sport of bodybuilding has passed. He has truly shown himself to be just an upstanding guy. I've never heard anything bad about the guy, and it is going to be a deep regret of mine that I will never have been able to have met with him or talked with him. So one of the reasons why I wanted to become or start this channel, like part of the reason was so that I can interact with people who are in this space. So that way I can kind of talk to them as a peer. Like, you can't really choose your family, you can't really choose your friends to an extent. Well, you can, but you can, to an extent, maybe choose your coworkers. And I wanted to choose my peers and learn from them as much as possible. And he being such a great role model, it's really sad that I will never be able to let him know his impact and let him know how grateful I am for his content over the years, and thank him for that personally. So truly sad about that. But when you have someone who has chased their dream and has done so in a way that, like, not only where he has accomplished a lot but also carried himself with a great amount of sportsmanship, that is not something that anyone should ever detract from or make these arguments about steroid usage and its effect on health. This John Meadows was a person who knew what he wanted and he went after it, and that is something that is it's not something everyone can say. Like, while we mourn his death, we should look at his life with nothing but admiration, regardless of everything else that kind of goes around it. Because just the fact that he was able to carry himself as a role model, a coach, a teacher, a father, a lifter, the fact that he was able to do all of that with such great poise and character is something that deserves respect more than anything else. So rest in peace, John Meadows. Thoughts and prayers out to the family, and yeah, have a good day.